Today we're going to talk about NF's newest EP, Fear, and why this might be the most pivotal moment in his career, or even more importantly, in his life. Friday the 14th of November, that was the day that every NF fan was patiently waiting for. Nearly 3 years with no new music. The last time we heard from him was from the Hope album in 2023. Out of nowhere, during a UFC walkout in November 2024, we got a snippet of a new song, and it absolutely exploded online. Reactors were going crazy, and the fan base were all asking the same question. Are we finally getting a new NF album? And then, silence. Well, until the 29th of October 2025, when NF finally dropped a teaser video, an official announcement that Fear would be released on the 14th of November 2025. And I'm sure you will agree, those 2 weeks were the longest 2 weeks in history. But then the day came, and finally, we got a brand new 6-track EP, Fear. Ever since I first heard Fear, I've been overcome with a deep sadness, an overwhelming sense of empathy for a person that I've never even met. After Hope, it seemed he was beginning to learn how to contain the darkness and move in a positive direction in life, a more happier, a more peaceful direction. However, the darkness has returned, and it's stronger than ever. So in this video, I'm going to share, for my opinion, some of the top moments. We're going to reflect on what this EP really means, not just for NF, but for anybody who's ever faced fear and self-doubt. Hello darkness, my old friend. Instant goosebumps as we open the EP with the title track, Fear. NF literally opens the door to darkness, the darkness that he and we thought he'd left behind. His OCD spirals and the self-doubt hits you immediately. For me, this is NF at his most vulnerable. His questioning himself, his questioning God, the hope he was clinging on to. After Hope feels almost out of reach here. I'm not going to lie, this was hard for me to listen to. The song is stunning. The lyrics, the vocals, the visuals are incredible. But I felt anxious for NF. I felt sadness for him. This is a man who has helped many of us get through our darkest times, and I'm sat here feeling completely helpless. And yet, that's the beauty of the art. It speaks to you in a way that unlocks emotions that you didn't expect. And beyond the music, I felt kind of guilty being entertained by it, but I truly believe releasing this EP has helped NF process his own feelings, confront his struggles, and hopefully found some freedom in doing so. This track sets the tone for the entire EP. I'm not sure what fans were expecting, but the message NF is giving is so important. Healing isn't linear, and sometimes the challenges we think we've overcome can come back and return stronger than ever. The next track, Home, well, if you don't feel emotional listening to this one, I don't know what to say. I actually feel bad for you, because maybe you've never experienced that kind of real deep love in your life. In this one, NF is grieving his late grandma. The song feels like he's pretending that she's still here because he just can't let go. He's calling the phone and leaving the voicemails. He's walking down that memory lane, revisiting childhood memories in her house. It's nostalgia, it's love, it's the rawness of loss, all wrapped into one. You can really feel NF's pain in every single word. It's intimate, it's heartbreaking, it's a reminder of how grief can hit in waves and how we cling on to those memories to keep those people we love alive inside of our hearts. The third track, Who I Was, brings MGK into the fold, and that's a pairing I didn't expect to see. But what is clear to see is that MGK has become more mature and more open with his music. Both the artists share confessions about grief, guilt, and the struggle to find home. MGK's verse about his dad's ashes, that's something I certainly didn't expect, and he was so open throughout, sharing his personal experiences. I'll be honest, I've not heard a great deal from MGK, but from what I have heard, this is the most vulnerable that he's been on a song. And when F enters, he mirrors this, reflecting on anger, broken habits, and the fear of passing trauma onto his own kids. From the entire EP, this track has my favourite NF lines. It felt so deep as I could relate to them from my own experiences. It wasn't like NF was talking to me. It was like he was talking for me. Yeah, lash out. Need to take a breath and calm down. Try to regulate. Don't know how. Wasn't taught that in my house. Kids of my own. I step back, look at those smiles and feel sad. Hope they don't wind up like dad. Stuck in this loop like I am. Track 4, Give Me a Reason. Now this flips the energy entirely. This was the one that we heard on that UFC walkout. This one's louder, more aggressive, that classic NF hunger. Instead of hiding from critics, he's calling them out. He wants the doubters, the trolls, the labels, the fans, anyone who'll feed the beast. It's like he's chasing that old struggle, that raw energy that fueled his early career. It's almost like he's reminding himself why he started in the first place, reconnecting with that fire and that hunger that made him who he is. Next up, we have Sorry, featuring James Arthur. This is NF at his most vulnerable when it comes to relationships. No excuses, no sugarcoating, just owning his mistakes and wishing he could go back. I'm sorry. It's an admission, a confession, a moment of pure honesty. James's style and voice certainly complements the message. I don't think I've ever really listened to James Arthur before, but I'll definitely be checking him out in the future. The EP closes with Washed Up, and it's the emotional thesis of the project. NF questions whether he's lost that fire that built his career, the hunger, the defiance, the honesty. He wonders if success, comfort, the expectations have dulled him, but instead of giving up, he reconnects with faith, examines himself honestly, and tries to step back into the old shoes that shaped him. The whole song feels like it's him balancing fear with hope, self-doubt with resilience. By the end, you'll feel like he's standing on an edge of a cliff, and you're not sure whether he's going to fall or fly, and that tension is what makes it the perfect closing track. NF has always been intimate and honest with his music, and that's why we connect with him so deeply. Fear is the next step in his journey, another chapter from his mansion, which is now burnt down, which he's invited us all to witness. He dives headfirst into his mental health, grief and self-doubt, but beneath it all, the thread of faith and self-reflection that helps ground him is still there. Musically, it's stunning. The pianos, the guitars, the cinema production, collaborations with MGK and James Arthur add that extra layer. But at its core, Fear is NF standing alone with his thoughts while trying to make sense of his purpose. The EP isn't about winning or overcoming. It's about acknowledging fear, standing in it, and finding truth and strength through that honesty. So that's my breakdown of NF's Fear EP. 6 different tracks showing 6 different faces of fear, doubt, resilience. If you ever struggle from your own fears, this EP hits in a way that's impossible to ignore. So my name's Kul. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here. See you at the next one.
And on this record, I have terrible OCD. I've talked about it a little in interviews, but like before this album, it didn't really like affect my work. It affected my work, but not like I couldn't finish things. Now it's like gotten kind of worse. And so I struggle to finish things. If I don't think something's good enough, I'll just obsess about it and keep trying to do it and do it and do it, do it till I get so wore out on it. That's why I got so many songs that I just never finished, because I was like, oh, that's not good enough, or oh, I've said that, kind of said that before, so I can't say anything that sounds anything like that. And it just kind of, OCD creates like a box where like, oh, here's all the perimeters that you can't get out of. Here's why that's not gonna work. Here's why blah, 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 blah. And then eventually you're like, you can't, I couldn't write anything. There was like months where I couldn't write any songs. Wow. I'd be outside for like 8 hours, like no joke, not exaggerating.